What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the farm. Thanks for joining us today. And let me tell you, it has been a week for us. Dating back to last Saturday, we butchered our pigs. You guys saw those videos we put out there for you. That same day, we got 10 inches of snow. So first time in a year and a half that we really got snow here in Pennsylvania. It was exciting. But then fast forward a couple days to Tuesday, 3 inches of rain on top of it. The temperatures shot up. And my basement flooded. Had about 3 to 4 inches of water, definitely up to my ankles there. And we were barely able to save our freezers. I mean, it was up to the very bottom of our freezers. Fortunately, we had the right preparations in place. I have a big 7-horse pump with a 2-inch hose there that we were able to clean that up quickly, but the water continued to pour in. So, you know, it was a late night for us. We barely got any sleep, and I still had to work the next day. Anyway, we thought that we were good, and here we are. Fast forward a couple more days to Saturday, and our power just went out. It's really windy here on the farm. Definitely some trees down. I actually saw a tree from a distance over in our pig pasture. We'll head over there in a minute and take a look at that. But our power's out. Fortunately, again, guys, we're prepared. We have our generator hooked up with a transfer switch. Very simple setup, and we're able to run everything we need. So anyway, we'll head out now. We'll take a walk around. We'll see what's up. I know it's muddy out there, so we'll see what we can get into. All right, so let's get to it. I got my gas can here. We're gonna quick fill up. I'm not gonna really be able to explain what's going on because it's so loud where the generator is, but I always try to keep some gas on hand. You really should always have gas on hand, whether it's your vehicles, your mowers, your generators. Good to store that stuff, rotate it through. I'm not gonna get into that today, but definitely have some gas. We're actually running a little low, but we got plenty to make it through the night if that is the case. Power here, when it goes out, it's out for a while, definitely several hours. Usually, we're one of 6 houses on the line, so not really a priority for the power company here. Typically, we're out a couple hours, and you know, that's why we got to make these adjustments. That's why we got to be prepared. So I just dropped some alfalfa to the sheep, and I'm really starting to like this winter pasture, just the ease of kind of where they're located. I'm a stone's throw from the house. You can hear the generator. It's right outside my basement door. I just come out here to the gate, drop some alfalfa in there, and I really do like to supplement them this time of year. Talked about this a couple times on the channel. We do still have a little bit of grass up there on the pasture, but now that they're down here in the hollow, there's not a whole lot. So we want to make sure that we're supplementing them, giving them the proper nutrition, so they can stay healthy over the winter. And I also believe that the ewes are bred, so we want to make sure for those lambs to develop properly, for the ewes to stay healthy and deliver properly, they need the nutrition. So alfalfa is going to help there. I really should consider going back to minerals at some point. I had that scare throughout the summer with the copper issue. So check that one. I'll put a link up above if you guys have not seen that video. Check that one out. Definitely a scary thing for us. Sometimes with the all-purpose mix, a sheep is going to seek. Sheep are very instinctual in knowing kind of what they need as far as minerals, and they're going to seek out a certain thing. But if everything's mixed together, they might be going for one, but they're actually going to get too much of another, and that was the case with us with copper. So really I should break them out. A lot of people use those free choice feeders where they're kind of sectioned out. The sheep can kind of pick. They're nicely labeled and stuff as well. The sheep can kind of choose what they want, where here we're just throwing it in a dish and letting them have at it. I also could scale down. You know, that might be the better option. I still have a bunch of that mineral. I might just scale down, throw a little bit in, kind of monitor. If everything's good, then up the dosage a little bit. But really important that you get nutrition to your animals this time of year. You can see behind me, guys, this stuff is, I mean, it's all brown. It's winter. It's January here in Pennsylvania. It's going to be full of growth here in the spring. But for now, there's not a whole lot going on. So you have to supplement your animals. We just don't have the grass pasture established yet to just be able to keep them on grass. And then if we get snow, well, you can forget that anyway. It's interesting. Sheep will kind of kick through the snow a little bit to get to grass, but if you don't have the grass.
This is an update from TPL Electric Utilities. The store time for your outage is not yet available, but the time for your region is 11 p.m. tomorrow.
If you thought I was lying about our power not being restored, you just heard it. Through all of this, the little guys, they're still doing well. Still got our 7 here. Happy as can be. Ziggy's not, but let's go see what happened to this tree down here. It's kind of crazy how muddy this pasture is, and as soon as we butcher the last pig, we're butchering here again in 2 weeks, I think it is. We got 1 more to go. I'm gonna get these pigs out of here. I'm gonna show you guys how we transform our next pasture over. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, but wow, take a look at that. Broken off piece of white ash. You can see it up there. Broke off pretty low. And look at the water running through here. Isn't that just crazy? Fortunately, it fell the right direction for us. You can see our fence is right there. So it could have easily busted our fence up, meaning the pigs would have been running all over the place. But this thing broke off here, and I gotta watch, but broke off here, hit the ground pretty hard. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Luckily, our pigs weren't under it. That would have been pretty much a disaster. But we'll have to get in here at some point and clean this up. That right there is exactly why we don't have power. You got trees like that breaking everywhere. And our power line, let's see, I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but our power line is right there going between these trees. And it actually runs kind of down that way. You can see the clear lane there. That runs for, geez, I don't know, at least a mile, probably further. And there's white ash all scattered throughout. So very good chance a tree broke off on the line. This is a pasture. This is not a creek bed. You can see my strand of electric here going up a couple inches off the ground. And we just have water flowing. Crazy. Our spring is, I would say it's pretty full. Look at that thing. Definitely a way to get water quick. Gotta check the fence lines. When you have trees breaking like this, you gotta make sure your fence is intact. So, I will go ahead and walk the line a little bit. All right, so quick walk of the fence line down here by our Energizer. Most of what needs to fall actually fell by now, but still want to take a look. I think we should be pretty good here. The only other area is at the top part of where the sheep are now. Okay, down here at the corner, you can see everything is all clear. We're good to go. No trees on the line. That's definitely a positive. The winds are definitely slowing down now, so that's a good sign. Hopefully our power comes back soon. Who knows? My guess will be late tonight. For some reason, like 10, 11 o'clock always seems to be kind of that time frame, but you never know. While we're talking about it, it's funny, and I have so many stories from losing power. Probably one of my best memories of losing power here was shortly after we got the sheep. We had enclosed this area with woven wire, and it was really just after we kind of determined that Bucky was aggressive. Of course, every time you lose power, it's getting dark. I don't know why, but the timing just works that way. You're doing your whole scramble, you know, to get things in order. But I don't even think I turned the generator on at that point. Anyway, we knew PP&L was going to be out at some point. We're actually laying in bed. It was like maybe 1, 2 in the morning. I hear the truck roll by. And what they have to do here, being that our line runs through the property, a lot of times they're actually going to get out with spotlights and they're going to kind of look to see where the outage is. They can detect that in their system. They can pinpoint it pretty close, but to actually see what's going on, they get out, they walk across your property. So I have 2 guys walking across my property with spotlights. For one, that scares the heck out of you in the middle of the night. Luckily, I saw the truck out the window, or otherwise I would have been in a different state of mind, but we were good there. So they're walking across our property, and next thing you know, I see them going in our sheep fence. I see them opening the gate. And I could kind of hear outside because everything was so quiet. There's nothing running in your house. I could kind of hear them like laughing, making jokes. And I'm thinking to myself, hey guys, joke's on you. This ram, you don't want to mess with him. So they're walking through there, they're trekking around. I didn't see the sheep come anywhere near, but my God, I don't know if I'd be held liable for that. It definitely, it was definitely funny afterwards. You know, they went through, they walked around, and I saw them kind of go off in the distance. I don't know if they hopped the fence or what they did. Needless to say, they found the issue, and I appreciate, you know, that's a tough job. I appreciate them doing that. But imagine going into somebody's sheep pasture, not really knowing. I don't even think they knew what animals were in there. It was just funny thinking that, okay, I just got rammed by Bucky. You know, he just smashed a bucket right out of my hand. And now these guys are just walking in there with really no fear in the world, really don't know what's going on. You know, like I said, I heard them kind of laughing, so I think they probably saw the animals. They're probably like, what are these sheep? But little did they know what could have happened. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. It was funny just to watch, you know, from my bedroom window, just watching these guys. And then I also thought, you know, do I quick run out? You know, they're my animals. You know, last thing I want is somebody getting smoked by a ram, especially in the middle of the night. That, you know, that could definitely do a number on you. But they made it through, and our power came back on. So good times. As always, you know, we always an adventure when you lose power out here. So anyway, guys, getting dark. You can see the pond behind me. Man, is the pond high. If we didn't have a little overflow on there, that thing would be just bursting at the seams, but it's holding up okay. Water's definitely mucky from all the rain. So I'm gonna head in. It's getting dark. We got homegrown pork for dinner tonight, so I'm really looking forward to that. It hits a little different when you're cooking out of a crock pot in your living room. You know, it really makes you appreciate what you have. You know, your preparations that you're always planning for. This is when they pay off, and honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not a big change for us. You plug it in, you start your generator up, and you're good to go. So we're gonna go in. We might not have a whole lot of light, but we're gonna have some dinner, and I'll catch you guys another time. If you like what we're doing, as always, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate your support on our channel. You can always subscribe if you haven't already. Continue following along our journey. Questions, comments, drop them below. We'll be happy to get back to you. And guys, we'll let you know when we have power. We'll be back with you another day.